am Erin Gruich. I'm the founder of Sensational Path. I am a mom of two boys, Luca and Joshua. I am an occupational therapist, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about sensory processing. So I recently discovered that I had a greater purpose, that my purpose was to be able to share my knowledge of sensory integration and sensory processing, and my life as an OT and my life as a mom. They kind of all meld together, and then my coaching melds in with that too. So I have like I said, I have two boys, and one of them is pretty sensitive. So that's kind of the reason that I'm on here sharing, because as a mom and an occupational therapist, this hits close to home, right? I have a boy who's very sensitive. He just reacts differently, okay? And I know that I'm not the only parent who has a kid like this. In fact, I work with a lot of children like this. And actually, I work with children who have really severe cases of sensory sensitivities. And so I wanted to share with you what that looks like and how I can help, okay? Got this chart. This is your arousal levels from low to high. Okay, arousal, some people don't like that word. Some people prefer alertness. Okay, and this is just your day. Okay, what happens in your day. So we want to have this optimal level of arousal. Okay, so you and I, we want to get up and we want to just smoothly sail through our day like so. Okay? What happens though is as different events happen, these are ups and downs. You and I, we go through our day and we recover quite nicely. Something happens, we're able to come back. We stay within this band of optimal arousal, okay? What happens with our kids who are more sensitive, they maybe start in this range and then something happens and then they recover, and something else happens and they recover, and something else happens and they can't recover, okay? So this is high level of arousal. This is our fight, fright, flight state. So more things happen, they can't respond, they can't recover. That's when we see tears, tantrums, meltdowns, okay? We see them curling up in a ball, hiding out because they can't deal with all this information that's going on. There's other kids who start their day up here in this high arousal, okay? And they just, how do teachers do this? They just stay up here and, they have problems sleeping. They can't sit at mealtime. They don't like putting their clothes on. Totally makes sense, right? Okay, so they're up here. They're in this fight or flight stage all the time. Just can't deal with everyday life. There's anxiety that goes here. There's avoidance, okay? Social things that happen. Dressing, it interferes with everyday activities, okay? So what we want to do for kids like this that are in this high arousal, or for kids who become defensive, we want to help them get back in here. We want to start their day in this optimal level of arousal, and we want them to be able to recover from these events that happen, okay? Makes sense? Totally makes sense, right? There's other kids who are down in this low level and they need to up it so that they can be in this optimal level too, but we'll talk about that another day. So what do you do? What do you do with these kids that are so sensitive or can't sit still? Okay? Both kids need help, and we can try to be like, hey, it's all right. It's no big deal. But to them, it is a big deal, right? They're in that fight or flight. They're way up here, it's a big deal. And we're saying, it's no big deal. You bumped your finger, you bumped your knee. It's okay. Or, yeah, your clothes a little itchy. Don't worry about it. Or it's just a noise. Okay? That's like they're walking down a dark alley. And when you walk down a dark alley and like the cat jumps out in front of you, or in a movie, right? The cat jumps out in front of you, or there's a noise, it startles you, right? So they're walking down a dark alley all the time. They're startled. So how do we bring them back down? This is my second daughter. Yeah, it's my oldest son, big time. So what do we do? How do we bring them back down? How do we calm these kids down so that they're not so sensitive? And there are some general strategies that I'm going to give you, but really every child is different. And so it's important that you find out what your child's needs are so that you can meet their needs, not just, there's no blanket answer that's going to help every kid. But I do have a few things that might be helpful for now until you find out more, right? So we always say, when in doubt, use heavy work. Okay, so heavy work is that proprioception, that big word that I talked about at the beginning. That's the things that are going to calm us down. So remember I said you could be like, calm down, or it's no big deal. But that's like approaching from a cognitive point of view. And we want to actually use the back of our brain to help calm us down. Okay, we want to help self-regulate. Okay, that's a big term that's being thrown around right now, but it's important. We need to be able to attain and maintain changes in our arousal. Okay, so if we have that increase in our level of arousal, we want to be able to bring it down or recover from that. So heavy work really helps with that, and that's push-pull activities. So you all know that I like to work out. Well, kids can use this workout equipment. Okay, resistance bands are heavy work because it's push-pull activities on your muscles. So that activity is proprioceptive activity, and it helps send information to our brain that helps us calm down. The nice thing about heavy work is it actually can work if we're on the low end of that arousal chart. So if we're down here, we can use heavy work and it's going to increase our arousal. If we're up here, it's going to decrease our arousal. Hey, Megan just joined. So yeah, heavy work works for both, right? It's kind of like when you're tired in the morning and you do a workout, it gives you energy. And if you have too much energy and you do a workout,